Welcome to Tennis Spin, where we put our spin on your tennis. So guys, I've been talking about hydration, cramping, kind of a lot this year, but I really wanted to dive deeper in that because even in the cold, even in the winter, people are saying, oh, I have a cramp. It's like, well, what you been doing? You can cramp in the winter too, Stay tuned. All right, so this is my episode 1 of Coffee Club here, and would like to thank Andrew Thomas, who got the coffee today. Coach Rob doesn't drink coffee, so he's on a tea today. Andrew Thomas writes, I love your channel. I have a question. I play with an E-Zone 98. I want my old racket, which is a V-Core Ace, to feel like the E-Zone. Got any tips? So the E-Zone Ace is actually super, super light. Or V-Core Ace is super, super light. I mean, the easiest tip would be buy a new racket if you could. If you had to, I mean, that's a lot of lead, my man. We're talking about 1.5 ounces of lead that you're going to have to add to it. I mean, check the balance of your racket. My guess is you're going to have to load up that V-Core Ace with a lot of lead in that handle and then kind of add a little bit back to 3 and 9. But that would be the only way to do it. But yeah, thanks for the question and thanks for the coffee. Andrew is spelled Andrew Thomas. Thank you for the coffee. Guys, if you want to sponsor a Coffee Club episode, network is buymeacoffee.com/tennis spin. If you want to contribute to the channel, super thanks is the way. Cheers to you all, and thank you so much. I spilled it on myself. All right, so we're talking about hydration. So I put the coffee down, and Coach Rob, I'm going to be the water boy right now.
That's good.
H2O.
Correct.
Okay. And
that's a better choice than the other one you had earlier.
Unfortunately, I need that to get started. So there are good things and bad things about coffee, guys. Okay. It's a diuretic, so it makes me regular. Okay. And
thanks for sharing.
And this is what hydrates me and makes me go to the bathroom and keeps me from what, Coach?
Cramping, being dehydrated, et cetera, et cetera.
Exactly. Now, we're now in the winter time as we do this, but I still hear people saying, oh, I'm cramping. Oh, my thigh, my calf. I hear a lot of cramping scenarios too on the court when it's literally 60 degrees out right now. Why is that?
I think as we hit into the shorter daylight, it's not typically as hot. Mm-hmm. You don't want to go drink water to stay cool. You're already cool.
Right.
So your body starts to not take in as much water as you should, but a lot of times your body is still working hard to stay warm.
Right.
Or you are now playing and competing and pushing yourself to that point where you still needed the hydration beforehand. It's too late when you're already in that mode of, oh God, I'm cramping.
Right.
You need to prepare.
Right.
Prepare the day before. Just like you would when it was hot in the summer, you were drinking water and getting extra salt and doing all those things you know to do in the summer.
Right.
But in the winter, you still need to do it. And I know that myself. Like there's times I'm like, I have to consciously go drink water. Like it's hot, I'm just going to drink water. Like my water bottle's right there and I'm drinking it.
Right.
But when it's cold, I have to do the same thing.
Well, see, that's the thing. You're used to being out in 90-degree weather in the summer for literally 8 hours a day. you're thirsty. But doing the same thing in the winter in like 60-degree weather, you're
or
not.
50,
Yeah,
and you've bundled up. You got 4
exactly.
layers on. You feel like the Pillsbury Doughboy because
Right.
you've got, your down jacket on and a beanie,
Exactly.
and
And
you're,
you really
you're
don't
fighting
want
to stay warm.
And you really don't want to go pee. Because that's what's going to happen. The more you drink, the faster you go in the winter. Because it, for some reason, goes right through you. So you're not thirsty. You're not thirsty, but you still have to drink.
Correct.
So that's the thing, guys. Here are some of the symptoms for when you're dehydrated and you may not even know it, okay? One is you're not going to the bathroom, obviously, because you're not drinking anything. The color of your urine, right? The darker it is, right? The more dehydrated you are. The clearer it is, the more hydrated you are, right? Are you a little irritable on the court? You could be dehydrated and you don't even know it, right? It ain't just the time of the month, right? You probably pissed off because you need a little H2O. You know what I'm saying? It's things like that we don't think about, and then obviously when we get to the point of, like, what do they call that? Heat stroke, where you have the headache, the rapid heart rate, right? That's when you're in trouble. We do not want to get to that point. Obviously, it's more dangerous in the summer than it is in the winter, but you got to watch out for that stuff, because we don't want to be calling 911 for you and then hooking you up to an IV, because that's going to be hours out of your day laying in a bed somewhere in a hospital while you get rehydrated through what do they call a needle?
IV.
IV, yeah. So how can we prepare better, Coach? We got to drink what?
Get more water.
Right.
More electrolytes.
Right.
Some more salt in the diet,
right.
A little bit. And make sure you're constantly keeping yourself with plenty of fluids in you, especially if you know you're going to be playing the next day or you're going to be doing something physical. It could be not tennis. It could be physically exerting yourself. You're going up into the mountains. You're going into elevation where all of a sudden now you're super dry. You're like,
Yep.
you need to, like, you're getting on a plane. Make sure you hydrate before so that.
That plane just like sucks it out of you.
Right. So it's, you just have to kind of live and learn, but also hopefully we can help you a little bit so that you're not learning with a back pulled muscle in your back or a pulled calf muscle or something to that effect.
So I actually looked up some information. USTA actually has a great guideline for hydrating, like pre-match, during match, in high degrees, and then
post
match. Nobody ever thinks about post. What did it say, Coach?
So a lot of times is after you're done competing, you always see when you're watching the pros on TV grabbing their water bottle. Like the match just ends, they barely have put their racket away. Mm-hmm. They're already starting their rehydration for the next day.
Right.
So extra water, electrolytes, all the things that can help replenish your system.
Right. But most of the time, in USTA leagues, right, what do? We either celebrate a win or we're so sad about the loss. We grab a beer, wine, or some type of alcoholic beverage, and we drink that instead. And that's not hydrating us. What is it doing?
Dehydrating ourselves some more.
Right. So
no, maybe there again, maybe they don't have a match for another couple of days and they have, a flexible schedule where they're not competing for a day or two and they can replenish then. So maybe they enjoy a cold one at their victory celebration, but there again, make sure you keep yourself hydrated.
Right. And then the key point of hydrating is not just the water, guys. It's not just the water. Like, it's like the salt intake and the electrolytes that you get. I mean, some of the stuff that you've seen me drink, like the Voli during the year, my off-field, And then you guys know, and Coach Rob has smelled my second wind, right? This stuff actually works. They taste great. And it's easy, right? You just dump it in your water. Oh, sorry. Yeah, silent but deadly. But, the stuff like that is just easy. Now, you guys know salt sticks and all that other stuff too. Like, try it. You get it at Costco. Get these at the websites. It's not, it tastes really good, and I like the taste of it. But
another good one is Pedialyte.
Oh, yeah.
That's another
I love
one
that too. I love that too.
I think of Pedialyte like when you have a young newborn who's ill or whatever, and they need more, and you give them Pedialyte, and it's like, hey, if it's helping you at that age, it can still help you.
Exactly. No, I saw a USTA player carry one in one day, and I'm like, "You got a baby?" He's like, "No, that's for me." And I'm like, right?
Smart.
Think about it. If you're going to give it to a baby, there's probably not a lot of chemicals in there that's not good for the baby. Normally, okay? I'm no doctor. I'm no chemist. I don't make this stuff. I just drink it, okay? Now let's talk about diet here, okay? Because we need the salt, because we need carbohydrates, and because we need some protein in our diet, why don't we just make a pit stop at Mickey D's and get a number one? We get all of that from that.
You would get all that and a little bit more that you probably don't want.
You get to go to the bathroom. That's what you get.
That would be a pit stop for sure. Better be close to one after.
But let's talk about carbohydrates first, okay? We get the fries, I get it. It's carbohydrates, there's salt in there, but the grease is what you don't need, okay? We want a little bit more clean, like a baked potato, something that's a whole food that will stay in you a little bit longer. Protein, we want like a leaner, like everybody talks about chicken breasts, right? There's not too many things better than that for you that's actually a meat and protein and really doesn't have a whole lot of fat. So eat like clean, and then
fruits, vegetables.
Yeah, anything that's
banana.
Whole. Exactly. Yeah. What about a banana? That potassium thing, is that for real?
Do you not see every tennis player eating bananas?
That's true. I thought they just liked bananas.
They are probably sick of bananas at some point, but yes, you do need to put the potassium in you, all right, especially when it's hot.
Like let's talk about personal experience. What have you done yourself to keep you from cramping either on the court or at nighttime when you sleep?
So I can say after a long day of teaching, played a USTA match, it was extremely hot. I was hurting. I was cramping. I was laying in bed. My legs were killing me. Mm-hmm. I literally had to limp to the fridge, get some water, and get the salt, and just poured salt in the water.
Really?
And just drank it.
Whoa.
I was hurting.
Wow.
So I went straight water and salt.
How long did it take before it kicked in?
I don't know if it kicked in or I just fell asleep because the next day I was still sore and really working hard on the electrolytes and the banana, the Gatorade, all those things to try to replenish after.
Right. So I'm sure like your teams go out and play.
And everybody's different. Everybody's body is different in what they need what works well for them. But yeah.
Yeah, I luckily don't need the type of water that they are recommending. Like they're literally saying like 10 to 15 glasses of water a day. I mean, I probably live off of 5 and I'm okay.
So you should raise it up.
Yeah, I should. But I ain't got time to go to the bathroom. That's the problem.
That's no excuse. And now, serious on that note, that's what happens with a lot of older people.
Yeah.
Because it goes right through them, and older people have a harder time. You and I are heading in the older direction, but I know somebody joked like, "Hey, I never pass a bathroom without stopping."
Mm-hmm. No, I get it.
Even if they need it or not.
No, I totally get it.
But you still have to keep your fluids going.
Yeah.
Even if that becomes an issue.
Yeah. So yeah, don't let that be an issue. Maybe plan for pit stops and plan for bathroom breaks, because water is important. As much as I drink coffee, I actually need the water to kind of compensate for how coffee is dehydrating me. So don't let my love for coffee, taint you guys into not drinking enough water. Okay, because we need coffee and we need water too. So, Coach Rob, anything to add?
I would just say to please take care of yourself ahead of time, and ahead of the match and after the match.
Yeah.
Like stretching before the match, everybody kind of goes through their warm up. Have a good routine for after about hydration. Have a routine before about what you're drinking and what you're eating to help you.
Great point. Actually, I've seen a lot of people, especially this year, look at the weather forecast for when the matches occur. And they're like, oh my gosh, it's going to be 95 degrees. It's like, we have to hydrate more.
Absolutely.
So
pay attention to that. For
exactly. Because you need to plan for that. You do not want to walk in there and get a heat stroke, because you will be done for days after that. All right. So guys, take care of yourself. Okay. Hydrate every day, whether you're doing tennis or not. We all need to drink enough water and get enough electrolytes. All right, guys, I'm going to link the USTA recommendation kind of guidelines to below, as well as the materials and the stuff that I've used through this year to get me through my playing. All right, guys, thank you for watching Tennis Spin, where we put our spin on your tennis.